Convergence Ciderworks in Decorah, Iowa. How are you?
Doing well, how are you?
Good. All right, so tell me a little bit about Convergence Ciderworks.
Yeah, so we've been around since 2021. We are a hard cider manufacturer. We are really focused on local. And that's kind of our mission and vision, is to make sure that we're using local apples, local fruits, and full ingredients. So we just kind of opened this tap room here in July of 2021 and really started working with the community locally and producing our ciders.
Okay, and what made you pick Decorah?
Decorah is kind of the hub of the Northeast Iowa corner, is kind of how we view it. We also want to work with the driftless region in general, and so it's kind of that point where Iowa meets the driftless.
Okay.
And so we're able to get apples from kind of all over, from Wisconsin, Minnesota, and from Iowa, where we're located. Yeah, you know, just that we are really excited to be in Iowa, and we're really excited to start sharing our ciders with the state.
So, what did you do before Ciderworks?
So I've been in beverage for about 10 years, and I did kombucha first, and then hard cider previously before Convergence.
Okay, what draws you to the hard cider over any type of other distillery type of environment or fermentation?
So for me, it was actually the gluten-free nature of it. We have some health issues and some other things in our family, and so that was kind of what got me started in kombucha, as well as then moving into hard cider. Those are kind of things that we also really focus on here, is trying to be as open to folks as we can in our products.
What's the hardest thing about being in this industry?
Winter right now. You know, it is definitely cider. The category of cider is a challenge because a lot of folks love cider in the fall, and you have a lot of people who really want to drink it and come to orchards and do all of those wonderful things, but it can also be a year-round drink. So continually having that educational piece around kind of what we do in the category, and that we're whole fruit products and we are available for the folks to enjoy year-round, has been probably our biggest challenge.
All right, well, can you walk me through the process of the whole fermentation and all the fun stuff?
For sure. So these are wine fermenters, and our process is very much like wine, but we use apple juice instead of grape juice.
Nice.
So these are open top, and we do that because we're smaller and we're just getting started, and you can choose your batch size.
Okay.
So I can drop the lid all the way to halfway and only have, you know, half a tank, or we can ferment a full tank. And when they're fermenting, there's lots of good aromas going on, and it smells just like a winery in here, which is pretty amazing. But yeah, we go ahead and we ferment in tank. Then we'll kind of move to our tote area, and these will just mature and get better and better over age or over time. These have been maturing for about 4 months now. So we pressed in October, fermented, and they've just kind of been getting better and better.
And so,
Yep.
how much in bottles, let's say, or in...
So these are 500-gallon tanks.
Okay,
And
okay.
then they transfer over to 2 per. So these are 250-gallon IBC totes.
Okay.
We get around 25 to 30 kegs out of a tote.
Okay.
If that's helpful.
Yeah, that gives me an
and
idea.
Yeah, every keg is about 40 pours.
Okay.
So I'm not great with math, but that's
Yeah,
kind of all
yeah. Works for me.
about what we're doing. And then, yeah, after they do that, then we'll go ahead and we will, so we have a lot of different infusions that we do.
I was going to ask, are there different kind of things you put in along the
sure.
process? Okay.
Yeah, so after they mature, we'll go ahead, so we have an elderflower honey. Whole elderflower, local from Postville.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and we'll steep that in for a bit and then add some honey at the end. We do blend in these tanks as well. And then we're a little bit different than some cider makers where we package into kegs and cans.
Okay.
And that means that we carbonate. So these are our carbonators. These are the bright tanks.
Okay.
We do hold under pressure. So right now you'll see it's not a whole lot of pressure in that one, but we do have some driftless, which is one of our dry ciders, aged on oak, American oak, that we get right in Caledonia.
Nice.
Yeah, and so
Do you get your honey locally too then?
we do. Yeah, we work with Highlandville Honey, and they're kind of Winnesha County and a little out from there, but mainly the area here.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Way to shop local.
That's definitely our goal.
Good.
And I like our Aronia berry cider. The Aronia berries are local. I was mentioning prior that we have a large press that we work with, so we press local apples for our juice too.
Nice.
Yeah, and so it'll sit in here, get nice and bubbly for a while, and then we'll package into kegs and cans.
So what do you see Convergence doing in the next 5 years?
Growing. Just like a tree. We are pressing apples. We just worked with the local RC&D office to bring in a large press. So we're going to grow that operation and hopefully put more apple trees in the ground with our partners.
Oh, okay.
And that's really our goal, is to continue to grow that part of our business as well as providing cider for Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin.
So is that just you and your husband? It seems like a lot of work for two people.
It is quite a bit of work. So yes, my husband Chris, our older son was kind of helping us make cider for a bit. He's 24 now, so he might be moving around doing his own graphic design thing for a while, but he's been helping us get started. We have one other cider maker, and then we have some taproom staff as well.
You said local, like fruit, so apples, what others?
Yeah, so we use apples, we use pears, elderflower, honey, what else do we use? Aronia berries. We have quite a few other things, adjuncts that we use too, but all whole fruits and local.
And you can what is local in terms of your radius?
So regionally, we'll go out to Gaze Mills, Wisconsin, and La Crescent, Minnesota as well. But as much as possible, we stay within Winneshiek County and northeastern Iowa.
Okay, and so you can find everything you need at any time of the year?
Pretty much. So what we do is we contract with growers, and we have a lot of people who keep things in cold storage, things like that. Our ciders also are currently mainly harvest driven, so we have a lot of focus around harvest time. We do a lot of fermentation at that time of year and things like that. If we have to go further out during the year, we'll stick with Midwestern apples in Michigan.
Okay.
That's our other kind of resource in the area.
So tell me a little bit about the building that you're in.
Yeah, so it's an old lumber yard. It's got a lot of history to it, and it is definitely a project of love. Anytime you have any old building like this, it's kind of lends itself to being like that. But it is a fun space. It's got this really cool ghost mural wall in it that you can see, and we really just tried to focus on keeping what we did, keeping with the feel of the building. The stuff on the walls was the floor.
Okay.
And it looks really old and really rustic, but then the folks who did, the roofing and things like that on the structure, they did a wonderful job of insulating it. So for us to produce here, it works out really, really well.
I love the wall over here, and is that the original art that was on the wall?
Yes, so it's original, and we've done a little bit of research on it, and there is a stamp that says that the company originated in Chicago.
Okay.
I think it's Thomas Cusack and Company. And in researching that, it said that company actually went out of business when the gentleman passed away in the 20s.
Wow.
So I believe
So here
it
we are in the
predates-
20s again, right?
I know.
Nice.
I believe it predates that. And there's a couple different sections of the mural. It's been kind of like painted over and redone a few times. And it's really neat. You sit and you look at it, and there's different, things that you notice every time.
As you say, it can look different every
Yes.
little time you come.
Yep.
Well, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
This is just a good vibe in here.
Awesome. Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about the Airbnb that you have going on.
Yeah, so we run an Airbnb. It sleeps 6 people. It's 2 full bedrooms, and it's the whole floor up above our tap room.
Nice.
So it's the old building there. It also has a really cool old safe in it that we use for storage. And it's open most of the time about 6 months in advance. So if you're looking to book, that's definitely the time to take a
Keep
look.
that in mind when you're out looking. Nice. And so do you keep that is it busy year round, you think? Or?
Yeah, we get a little bit slower in the winter with
Sure.
it, just like everywhere else. I think everybody kind of goes into that hibernation mode, but wants to stay home versus going out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's completely remodeled, keeps pretty busy up there, other than that.
Tell people how to find you.
So convergencecider.com is our website. We are also on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we have a lovely tap room here in Decorah.
And what's the address for people?
302 Washington Street.
Okay. What are the hours?
Right now we're a little bit limited for our production. We are closed Mondays, Tuesdays currently, so we're open Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday through Friday is 4 to 9,
Okay.
and then Saturday and Sunday is noon to 9. And those will probably expand in the summertime once things pick back up.
Wow, this is a cool place.
I know, right? And the nice thing is, people can come here and, get things that are allergy sensitive.
Oh,
So like she was telling me that these are all gluten-free.
okay.
So people that are insensitive and stuff, they can have drinks here and still go out and not feel like, oh, I can't go out because I don't have anything for me.
Right.
It's like being the 19-year-old with like 21-year-old friends. Oh, I can't go out because they don't have anything.
Well, you can, and they heat up the cider, so even though it's cold outside, you can enjoy a warm drink. You don't have to have it warm. You can, drink it whenever.
Well, and they have different food that you can have. You can make your own charcuterie trays. I mean, there's all kinds of things that people can do. And the fact that they make it all themselves back here is really cool.
It is. And this wall, just the history of some of this, the wood we're sitting in, it just feels warm and cozy and
Well, she's telling me that the walls used to be the lumberyard floor.
very cool.
And so they repurposed it all and kept the outside of the old building where the office and stuff was. So things like this are fantastic, and they're a manufacturer in the downtown.
Right.
Which we didn't see a lot and talk a lot about makerspaces and how manufacturing used to be downtown. Things like this can still be downtown and they can still be vibrant.
Right. And I think I'm gonna have to plan an Airbnb trip for this summer.
Right, yeah. And the pictures from the Airbnb shows how great that space is, former probably offices above the lumberyard. Use that space. They use every single foot of space, and even though they're not open 24/7, it still gives you the ability to cash flow all the different spaces that they have.
Yeah. And it's just a fun place to come.
Cheers.
Cheers.